Gonna start this off. Welcome to the show.
It's not bunch of fucking bullshit. It's not Shut up! I hate you so much.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Dude, I fucking hate that. Welcome, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to Things I Hate 25. Quarter century, my dog. Quarter century. 25 is the silver anniversary, or is that 50? No, 25 is definitely the silver anniversary. 50 is the gold anniversary. That's like when people have been together X amount of years, when a couple has been together 25 years, you get them something silver for their 25th anniversary, and then when it's 50, it's gold. So the 25th anniversary, it's not even close to accurate. The silver episode, that's much more accurate, of Things I Hate. Things I Hate 25. I got my fucking nuclear alarm clock. Now, if you've been watching the show, you know that this, along with my pants, has been a bit of a saga to get an alarm clock. Now, unfortunately, I bit off a little bit more that I could chew with this jabroni, and the alarm sounds similar to a concussion grenade, right? Like it's just, it's heavy duty. The other thing that's happened is when I bought it, it was silent, but now it makes a very tiny ticking sound. Maybe you can hear. Right? And you can hear that when you're going to bed, and it's not really nice. And I can kind of hear it now. So maybe I'll fucking get rid of this thing. But I put this guy out because I have a page of topics almost to get through, which is a lot. Usually it's like 3/4 of a page. But, oh shit. But this is a lot. So I might do a double header episode today. Might split it in two. You never fucking know. We'll see what happens. This guy's on an hour timer. So it's going to fucking, drop a fucking nuke at the hour mark. And then we will see how we're feeling. Cool. Okay, welcome. It's a beautiful morning. I feel pretty okay. I feel pretty good. Feel pretty great. TikTok is still blowing up. It's a little bit, I'm getting used to it there. I have to kind of stop looking at the comments sometimes because my ego is so fragile that if I see one comment that's even not 100% positive, I have a fucking breakdown. So, I kind of have to just measure myself there. It's hard though because you get so addicted with like the likes and shit. So anyway, that's kind of a bit on my mind, but I'm handling that well. But let's get into it. Let's talk about some stupid things. First thing I wrote is you can't flex with music knowledge anymore because now Spotify and other streaming platforms exist. Whereas like before, even if it was a stupid flex, it was still a flex where it was like, oh, like I know all this underground fucking music. But now it's like, yeah, dude, like I have Google too. You know what I mean? Like I can just fucking look this shit up. You know what I'm saying? And more than that, it's like the algorithms will just discover this shit for you. I can hear the ticking and I don't like it. What happens if I just put it like this? Tight. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, yeah. So the algorithms will just discover shit for you. So now it's like if you know some fucking obscure track or band, it's like, okay, like, cool, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I have that shit too, so it doesn't fucking matter. You know what? I'm actually going to get a coffee. So, BRB. Yeah, no, I was talking about can't flex the music knowledge because the algorithm just recommends shit. So now it's like whenever you find kind of like an underground track, it used to be like, oh, cool, like I found this. But it's like, no, you didn't. It's just like YouTube or Spotify recommended it. You know what I mean? One day laundry. Oh, I just want to say this before I forget. Catan, I think, might get me laid, which is something I never thought possible. But later today, I'm going to go hang out with a wonderful lady who I met on the internet. And we're going to play Catan with some of her friends. And, oh, dude, you know what? No, I'm not even going to talk about this. One, because COVID, and two, yeah, I'm just going to cut all that out. But anyway, okay, so yeah, 1 day laundry. So, one day laundry. You know you're getting pretty pro at life and adulting if you can do your laundry in 1 day and it doesn't sit in the dryer or it doesn't stay in the dryer. Because I would fucking leave my clothes in the washer, which is gross because they get moldy and shit. So I learned my lesson on that a while ago. But now I'm still can leave them in the dryer. Or if you don't leave them in the dryer, if they stay in a hamper, unfolded. If you can do every step of your laundry in 1 day, then you're pretty fucking pro. And you can do it consistently. Nice work. I feel like that is the same thing for me as brushing my teeth. I finally am getting it now. Brush in the morning, floss, brush at night. I'm on it. But the next challenge is laundry. Walking into a clean kitchen, fucking lit. And on that note, a couple things about kitchen and cleaning dishes. Dishwashing is therapeutic, hella therapeutic, right? Monotonous work, just clean, make it clean, put it. By the end of it, you've done something great. You turn your shithole kitchen into a beautiful place to be. My mom would always, be pretty strict on us, clean the fucking kitchen, which is great. And the other thing too is that, just related to this, I feel myself turning into both my parents, but I think my mom especially in a lot of ways, because she would always, my mom would always get really jazzed on containers and tools, kind of in the same way that I get excited about, small little dumb shit. You know what I mean? When I got really excited about my highlighters a couple episodes back. I don't know if you guys saw that, but yeah. But okay, quick aside also, look at this fucking bullshit. You know what? I'll just put this on pause. I'll talk about my mom first. So yeah, so my mom would get really fucking excited about tools, and especially my mom was a stay-at-home mom. She raised us, so she was in the kitchen a lot, and she would get really jazzed about containers and Tupperware and whatever, blah blah blah, which sounds kind of goofy and stupid, but it's not. It's not meant to be belittling in any way, because it's if you spend, doesn't matter where it is, if you spend a lot of your life in a certain place, any kind of workspace, because the kitchen is a workspace just like any other. It doesn't matter if you're a chef or a mom or you're living on your own. It's a workspace. It's where you perform tasks, So if you spend a lot of your time in a workspace, you're going to get excited about the tools that you're using and, if they make your life easier. And so my mom would, but of course, as a kid, a spoiled kid, I couldn't empathize because I wasn't in the kitchen that much. I didn't understand, the struggles of being in the kitchen, the challenges you face every day with your environment in the kitchen. But one of them was she would always be my mom would always be this container is so great. You got clasp lids. It's tight. It's liquid tight. It doesn't leak. And she would say that a lot. She'd say, it doesn't leak. It's great. It doesn't leak. And then she would also be and it's so easy to clean inside of. And then if there was a container that was hard to clean, she'd be can't get that one. That container is too hard to clean inside of. I love my mom. And then she was for example, this fucking water bottle, bro, I put some stuff besides water in it a couple times, smoothies or juice, and then it gets nasty black stuff all in the top and the cracks, right? But as a kid, I didn't really get that happened, that, there were varying degrees of cleaning difficulty. And I mean a bit, but not to the extent my mom did. And then where was I? She was saying, yeah, she was it's easy to clean inside of. And then if she would get a container that was kind of oblong or awkward, she'd be how do you clean? How are you supposed to clean inside of this? You know what I mean? She'd kind of get pissed off, and she wouldn't swear, but you could tell that she wanted to. And the other day, I was in my kitchen and I had used a thermos, a very tall thermos, and I don't have a fucking pipe cleaner thing. So I just was looking at my little rag and I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to clean inside of this? And I was like, oh damn, like just like Ma. So I love you, Ma, and she was really right about a lot of the fucking container bullshit. Yeah. Containers always get like this. I have to clean with a toothpick in the top because it gets all like this disgusting kind of blacky goop stuff at the top. I think it's like some kind of mold or something, or just like nasty residue. I don't really know, but yeah, it's a pain. How do you clean this out of shit? You have to buy, and then it's like cleaning becomes a whole other problem where you have to buy the correct cleaning tools so that you can do a good job cleaning your stuff, because there's nothing worse than like dirty, gross things that you eat off of. You know, it makes you feel like a fucking degenerate. And besides the just psychological impacts, it's probably not, you know, the healthiest for you. So, oh my God. Excuse me. Sorry. Anyway, so shout out to my mom. Love you, Mom. She taught me a lot of great shit. And you know what? I think I'll just jump into, I have something to say about my pops too. I was, you know, on the topic of being like my parents. I was talking to, where is it on here? I was talking to my pops. My pops called me up for some, he called me up for some tech support. Here we go. Called me up for some tech support. You know, he was having some issue with his email or some shit. So I get on the computer with him, and and he's like walking me through the steps he did. Now, I don't know, maybe like 5 years back, I was like 25, maybe like 23. I lived with my parents for a little bit after, for you know, 3-4 years, I think, after I graduated. After I flunked out of McGill. So I was I was around my like early 20s, mid 20s. And so like I spent a lot of time with them, and we were all getting like, you know, I was becoming an adult. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that eventually the swear barrier kind of broke down. And I think my middle sister started it. She just started swearing around my parents more, because my parents would never really swear around us that much, but like my mom has this thing that she does where she'll say like kind of like PG swear words, and so that we know she wants to be like fucking motherfucker, but she'll like, just sometimes she'll swear, just some in a lucky moment she'll be like, this is fucking bullshit, you know. And she always does like the whisper swear, you know what I mean, where she's like, this is fuck, like she doesn't really go fuck, and she goes like, I can't believe this fucking bullshit. She'll kind of go like that, you know. But then the other thing she'll do is she would say for a while, she used to say like, oh balls, like if something went wrong she'd be like, oh balls, like what a bunch of bullshit, which is, you know, she'd like drop something, she'd be like, oh balls, you know, which is hilarious and super great. So me ma has a flair for, oh my God, excuse me, this is disgusting. She has a flair for you know, the passion. She's good at swearing, whatever, if she kind of let it go. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, I could always feel that there was swear words there. You know, the passion was always there in my family. I come from a very passionate family on both sides. And so I could always tell the passion was there. And then my dad, when he would watch comedians or like comedy movies and they'd be swearing or saying some vulgar shit, my dad would fucking love it. And he'd do that like kind of dad laugh where he's like he doesn't want to like, oh fuck, am I recording? Yeah, okay, get tight. He'd do that kind of dad laugh where he like doesn't want to show that he's enjoying this inappropriate content. He'd kind of be like, oh, you know, like that. He'd be like, and he'd kind of be like, oh God, and he'd like put his head down, but he fucking loved it. So I saw that and I was like, oh damn, like these guys are on the level, you know. And same with my mom, like if somebody had a kind of vulgar joke, but it was just on the right line, my mom would like it. And then my mom would always say shit like, oh, like that looks just like a penis, or like, oh, it looks like a pair of boobs. But then if we did it, like me and my sister, she'd be like, oh, don't be so vulgar. Oh, come on. But she'd always like doing it in kind of like a joking way. So I could always tell that like, my parents were fucked up, but like I could always tell they were, kind of nasty underneath. And so I always felt that energy. And by the time my mid-20s, I think I was just kind of like, okay, I'm fucking over this. Time to stop bullshitting. And I just started like swearing in front of them like more casually, I think my sister, like I said, actually started it. And then eventually, now they swear in front of me like a little bit. They still reserve it sometimes, but especially if it's just me and my dad, he'll be like, this is fucking bullshit. So back to the tech support call with him. Call him up. He's having some issues with his email. So I'm like looking through steps to see it. And he's trying to like integrate these two pieces of software. And he's like went through the steps on like the wizard of how to integrate, whatever, like the little help thing. And we come to some step, and then he's like, I forget what happens, but there's some kind of step where it's like, make sure that you go to like this area. And he's like, can you fucking believe this shit? This is fucking bullshit. Like, why is it so hard just to connect these two stupid things? Like, I can't even get my fucking thing to work. It's just a simple thing. And he was saying all this shit, and it just sounded identical to the stuff that I bitch about on here. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, that's where I get it from. So shout out to my dad. I love you, Dad. Great. Yeah. Great. Great. Cool. Some fucking clown on TikTok was like, do more frat stories. First of all, I'll do whatever the fuck stories I want. Okay. You little shit. Second of all, fucking piece of shit. Second of all, here's a frat story. And I like to think that I give like a different angle on the fraternity life because I'm not your typical fraternity bro. I like to think. I feel like that's pretty fair to say. Anyway, yeah, I was in a frat. It was fucking sick for a lot of reasons. It was fucking whack for a lot of reasons too. But it was really important for my development as a human. And I don't mean this to say like fraternities are always important for a young man's growth. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. So I feel like that would come up right away on TikTok. TikTok is you post shit on there and people are like, oh, you need to fucking, and you're just like, okay, like just pump the brakes, bro. Just chill out. So, what am I saying? Yeah, so I'm not saying every fraternity is important for every young man's growth. No, that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is that at the moment in time, at that moment in my life, the fraternity helped me overcome some personal struggles of my own that had existed before I entertained the possibility of joining a fraternity. And I'm not going to get too much into it, not because I don't want to talk about it, but just because it's a pretty big story that maybe I'll save for some other time. It's also, it's not too funny. It's just kind of like, heartwarming, if you will. But essentially it was like, it gave me a sense of accomplishment because, well, the other thing too is that like in Canada, frats are a lot more different than they are in the States. For one, there's a lot less butt fucking, read no butt fucking, thankfully, because that would have been kind of a deal breaker for me. You know what I mean? But, yeah, so that was a big plus that there was no, anal rape. That was great. But the other thing too is that, when you're pledging a frat, everyone's like, oh my God, you just get fucking drunk and party. And you do that. But there's also like a lot of bullshit that you have to go through. And it's not just like getting naked and running a mile. We didn't even really do that much crazy shit, honestly. Like there was nothing like, oh my God, that was so brutal. And I can't get into what we did because it's fucking secret. But it was never that crazy, but it was like mentally taxing because you had to kind of, you listen to people like bark orders at you, and it's obnoxious because when I rushed and when I pledged, I was older than most of the people in the frat. And honestly, pretty much everyone in the frat was really respectful of that. And they were like, this guy's older. We're not going to give him too much of a hard time because he's a fucking old piece of shit. And that's kind of a standard. When there's an older dude rushing, you don't really fuck with them that much. And which I think makes a lot of sense. And but it was still mentally taxing because even though they're not fucking with you, you still have to like take orders from people. You know what I mean? That's kind of the point, is that it's kind of like a very miniature version of the army, very miniature. And before all the, army people, it's not the same. It's just a very toned down, just a very watered down. Okay. It's just a similar energy. Anyway. So it was like a tough process, and it was a pain in the ass, especially for me. Like, I'm like, so fuck you, suck my dick. I'm not going to do that, you piece of shit. I'm so I got such a chip on my shoulder. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. That's my whole thing. Is, things I hate, fuck you. Right? And so to join some fucking rah spirit team, let's go, teamwork, it was totally against my whole fucking vibe. But my cousin did it, and I was like, well, he's not a total fucking idiot. And so I was like, I should probably check it out because, yeah, I fucking hate shit. But I think I pride myself on having a really open mind. So even though I I have my strong opinions, I will never like shut down somebody. So if they come to me and they're like, oh, like, have you thought about this? And as long as they present like a logical argument, I'm usually going to listen. I'm definitely not perfect, but I'm usually going to listen. And so, my cousin was in it. And he's a pretty good judge of character and judge of stuff. So I was like, well, he did it, and he was saying some pretty good things about it. And I was like, okay, so I should check it out. And the other thing, too, is, like I said, it was so opposite to me. And it was something that I was kind of afraid of because I had an awful time in high school, and I didn't really have a lot of a good friend group. I was, like, well-liked by everyone, but I didn't have a group that I really meshed with. And so I came into university like feeling like a real outsider, right? I didn't have a group in high school, and then I flunked out of university. So I was dealing with some real fucking what the fuck is wrong with me kind of shit. So it was really nice to see like a group of like bros, like the cool guys, and then kind of get like a literal stamp of approval from them. Now, obviously, this is all shallow, not a great reason. But at this point in my life, it was like, it was nice. It was nice, and I was missing that. I was missing like approval from my peers because I hadn't really had it in a while. And it was cool. This was this big group of guys, like a lot of bros, but a lot of like really interesting and smart and funny people too. Not just a bunch of fucking dingus idiots. There's definitely a lot of dingus idiots in there, and I think they know who I'm talking about. But there's also a lot of like people that you wouldn't expect in the frat. And I think I've said this before, but like it's hilarious because the most non-white people that I've met in my life came from the frat, which is like totally backwards, Usually you think like white boys in polos, and there definitely were white boys in polos, but it was just like, if I hadn't gone in the frat, I would probably know like, I don't know, 5 black people in my life, and now I know like 30. Look at me, Mr. Diversity, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it was crazy. It was like, it was a standard kind of frat experience, but it also super was not. In general, it super was not. And then for like me and my own struggles, it was really great because it gave me like a really big stamp of approval. Like, hey man, like you're not a psychopath. You're like a cool guy. And like, there's a lot of people who like you, and who think you're a cool guy, cool enough to be in this fucking club. You know what I mean? And then there's also, it was also like a sense of accomplishment because I put up with all this bullshit, in pledging, and I was like, I went through all this fucking crap, fucking, you have to bring this here, and you have to do this fucking charity, all this fucking bullshit, you know what I mean? But like, I went through it and I did it, and I'm not afraid. But when I got initiated, I bawled my fucking eyes out, you know what I mean? Because it was not really about. It was about getting into the frat for sure, definitely. That was part of why I was so emotional. But it was also like, I did this and like I'm accepted by my peers, and it was just such a relief because through high school I had a really tough time. Then I flunked out of university, so it's like, dog, I need to fucking win. So it really helped me kind of restore some of my confidence. Then the other thing that happened is when I got in the frat, people started to really encourage me to do shit that I had kind of written off. Like my brothers would be like, when I lived with a bunch of my frat homies, they would always tell me to play guitar. And I hadn't really had that. Like a lot of times, unfortunately, my family would be like, Tom, stop playing that fucking guitar. It's too fucking loud. You know what I mean? I remember one time my sister, I was practicing guitar and she came to my room. She's like, you're doing it wrong. And I was like, okay, like, thanks for the encouragement. You know what I mean? She's like, you're doing it wrong. You got to do it like this. And it's like, great. Thanks. So, it was nice to have some people who were like, wow, man, it's really cool that you can play guitar. That's really sick. That's so cool. Like, you should do that more. And like, we want to hear you do that. And I was like, whoa, really? Like, that's awesome. Like, thank you so much. It meant the world to me, especially just because, like, I don't know, I didn't have a lot of like bro friends that I could bro down with. You know what I mean? So it was nice to have like some real fucking boys who would do like fucking boy shit. Because I grew up with 2 sisters, man. So it's like, dog, I didn't really get the boy time. You know what I'm saying? So it was really nice to have some fucking boys to do this shit with. And yeah, and then they would encourage me and they'd be like, dude, you should play guitar for us. And we'd play guitar at the house all the time and do like sing-alongs. It was really sweet. And then also like, in all aspects of my kind of artistic life, which is like something I had never received encouragement for again. I was always like, from my parents, oh, Tom, you're so smart in school. You're doing great in math, whatever, all this bullshit. Oh yeah, fucking, I don't know. But these guys would be like, wow, you're sick at guitar. That's so sick. Great job. And then they'd be like, oh, man, you can freestyle? Like, that's sick. You should freestyle, like, more for us. We want to see you do that. And, like, I'm not a great rapper, but, I got some bars. We would kick it. And they would be so into it. And, like, they would join in and everyone would be down. And it was just so, like, dude, I'm going to fucking cry just thinking about it. Because it was just like really made me feel good about myself. Especially the boys that I live with, the frat boys. They just really made me feel really good about myself and like all aspects of my personality, not just the parts that, I don't know, not just the parts that were like outwardly good, like doing well in school or getting a good job or whatever. They didn't really give a fuck about that. They were like, dude, it's sick that you can do this shit. And then I would, as I got more into my artistic person, I would start to do like characters around the house. It's kind of where I got Cletus Maybach from, but like there's this one character, like I had a mullet for a while. It was so fucking rad. And I made this character. He's like Slickback Rick, and he's just like a trailer trash piece of shit, And he would just shotgun beers all day. And I had these like fucking ripped jeans that I would put on, and I would be like, have this fucking mullet, and I would fucking take out a can of beer and I would stab it with something to shotgun. And then I would say, can don't spray, you put it away. And then I'd fucking shotgun a beer. And it was just this fucking stupid character, that I would just fuck around with at the place, at the house. And it was just a lot of fun. And they all really loved it and encouraged it. And if it wasn't for those guys, I would not be doing this. And I definitely would not be doing comedy for sure. Like hands down. So, yeah, so like back to, you guys wanted frat stories. Well, there's a fucking frat story for you. But the thing that I was getting at is that I remember one time we have the frat at the end of the year. They have a party. It's called a formal, and it's just like we go over the year in review, and it's like a fucking big. Well, you bring like dates from sororities, and it's a big like debauchery, fuck fest, whatever. You know what I mean? But the thing is, the dudes that I live with, yeah, they were in a frat, but we were all like way more chill. Like none of us were really like diehard party animals. We're all a lot more mellow, which is why I lived with them. You know what I mean? So we did our thing at the it's at the venue, the formal, and you wear your suit and whatever, and then you come back and you come back to your place. We went back to our place after, and after the formal, instead of like getting rip roaring drunk. Or no, sorry. This wasn't after. I'm sorry. This is before. Sorry. So before the formal, you do your pre-drink, and it's just the boys in the basement, and we were just all chilling in the basement. And we were all fucking, we were all dressed up, and we were all just like really stoked, and I was like just really happy. I was really happy to be there because I was with all the homies. I'm gonna fucking cry, But I was like. I was just really happy to be there with the homies, and I remember we were all sitting, and then we were all just shooting the shit, and then I just started to like bawl because I was so happy, and I was just like, "You guys, I'm just so happy to be part of the frat. Thank you so much." And I remember them all being like, "Oh my god, like shut the fuck up." Like, shut the fuck up, you fucking psychopath. What is wrong with you? Like, pull your shit together. So that was pretty great, But yeah, the frat was fantastic for me. It was fucking rad. And I probably have some other stories that'll come up down the line. But anyway, there's one for you right now. Chilling out a bit. I'm trying to get my legume cooking game up. Now, Tom, what the fuck is a legume? A legume, I don't know the exact definition, but a legume is any kind of bean. So like a pea, lima bean, any bean like that, those are legumes, roughly, I think. Something like that. Anyway, I'm trying to learn how to cook beans from scratch and peas and stuff and not use cans, just buy the dried version and do it because I'm not really a pro at that. And I was looking on one of the packages for cooking peas. And again, like the process is not that simple. Usually what you do, or is very simple, excuse me. Usually what you do is you just put them in water and then boil them. You know what I mean? But I like, whenever you do something new, you want to do it right to the T. So I was looking in the instructions for the peas, and it's like step 1, rinse, and then it's like step 2, put like this much water. And then it's like step 3, it's like boil for 30 to 60 minutes. And then I was thinking to myself, I was like, that's a pretty big time frame. You know what I mean? Like that's a whole half-hour difference. Like, and then I just thought of the person writing the instructions and how that person kind of had to like make it like his boss was probably like, all right, Jimmy, like we need you to write some instructions for making peas. And then Jimmy was like, what? Instruction for making peas? Like who the fuck doesn't know how to make peas? And boss is like, look, I know, but like government says we got to put instructions on the back of every package. And Jimmy was like, are you fucking kidding me? You just fucking put peas in water and boil them. Like what's so fucking hard about this? And the boss is like, look, man, I get it. It's fucking bullshit. But just throw a fucking number on there and call it a day. And he's like, oh my God, this is fucking ridiculous. I can't believe I have to fucking put instructions for cooking peas. So he probably wrote on, he was like, rinse in water and then boil for 30 to 60 minutes. Just fucking look at it, you idiot. It felt like the guy who wrote it was being like, dude, the time doesn't matter. Just look at the peas, and when they're done, take them out. Like, what are you, fucking stupid? Just like 30 to 60 minutes, dude. I don't know. Use your fucking brain. It's whatever. 30 to 60 minutes. It's just look at it. It doesn't matter. There's no just use your head. So I just thought that was kind of funny. Oh my God. Again, if you've been following this, you know that one of my continuing sagas is the fucking squirrels in my house. So the exterminator comes. He does his thing. He puts in whatever the fuck he needs to. A couple things happen when he leaves. I'm at work. I'm literally on a call with my boss. But I'm like, this isn't going to take too long. Probably all he's going to do is be like, hey, man, I fixed the shit. I'll talk to you in like 3 weeks or whatever, you know? Something like that. Something quick. Okay, wrong. What happens is this dumb fucker speaks to me for like 20 minutes and repeats the same shit over and over. Look, I don't want to sound condescending, okay? I get it. It's your job to do the extermination. But you know what? No, and fuck that. It's not even condescending, bro. I don't care about what you did, okay? I don't care because I don't own this fucking house. I rent. And so none of this is of any fucking concern to me. You know what my concern is? Get the shit fuck rats out of my fucking attic, okay? I don't give a fuck what kind of sick method you used. I don't give a fuck how long you've been doing this. I don't give a fuck what the poison that you put is made of or what it does to their bodies. Frankly, I don't want to fucking know because then I'd probably feel bad about the fucking shit rat squirrels and then I would, have to deal with that guilt. So no, I don't want to fucking know what you did. I don't even want you in my house, bro. I live alone. You think I like company? No, I chose to live alone because I like to be alone a lot of the time. So no, come into my house, do what the fuck you need to, tell me the information only that I need to know to live my life and do this shit and get the fuck out of my house, okay? What happens instead? No, shithead McGee, by no, and look, it's a fucking French guy. I live in Quebec, lots of French people. Quebec men have a thing where they like to brag about how much they know in terms of like, well, just in general, right? But especially when it comes to work around the house. I use this fucking thing and I'm very clever because I did this little trick and I put a little trick here and I use this special different thing to do this trick. On and on and on. On and fucking on. Bro, I don't give a fuck what trick you used. I don't care, right? Fuck. Even if I was a competing exterminator, I don't give a fuck what you used, okay? I'll just figure out how to do my own. Anyway, so motherfucker is just bragging to me, and then he goes on and on. But what does he start the discussion with? He comes over, and he's like, oh, Monsieur Murphy, juste un peu de ton temps, s'il vous plaît, something like that. And then I'm like, yeah, like, hey. And he's like, oh, man, I was trying to do this, and, it's tricky. It's tricky because the holes in the squirrels are so small. And that's what he says. He goes, it's tricky because the holes in the squirrels are so small. And I'm like, dude, isn't that not the whole fucking nature of your job? Like, I feel like that's pretty day one shit, that you learn in like exterminator school. Like, oh yeah, heads up, fucking squirrels and the holes that they make are actually small and roughly the size of a squirrel. And so he looks at me, he goes, it's tricky because they're so small. And I'm looking at him like this. Because in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They're so small. What did you fucking learn how to do this yesterday? Dog, no shit, they're small. That's your whole fucking job. If you don't know how to deal with small holes, why the fuck are you an exterminator? What the fuck? So not only is he wasting my time with the bullshit that I don't give a fuck about, it seems quite clear to me that he is totally incompetent because he starts off the discussion with, did you know that holes that squirrels make are fucking small? And it's like, well, you'll never guess, but I fucking did know that. Anyway, so that fucking happened. And then what happened? So unfortunately, the squirrels like to fuck around directly above my office. I think it's because I keep the heat on there because I'm there, working a lot during the day. And I can hear them walking. It's unnerving, but I've gotten used to it. It sounds like this. Like, it's gross. It's not sick. But anyway, one day I fucking hear them, and then I hear some kind of commotion, like, and again, so when the dude was explaining what he was doing, another thing is I couldn't really understand him because my French is not great, and he was speaking pretty fast. He's speaking with a real thick Quebecois accent, which I don't know how much you guys know about French, but it's sometimes can be hard to understand. I would compare it to like if somebody had like a real fucking thick like Bronx accent, and they were like, "Hey, motherfucker," and you're like, what the fuck? You like some real thick accent, you know what I mean? That's like colloquialism or not colloquial dialect, something real local that you're just like, whoa, like, are we speaking the same language? Anyway, So it's really hard to understand. But I think what he said is like because the holes were so fucking small, he could only put traps around this one big hole, whatever. So I think that the traps are only in one area. And so I think what I witnessed, because what I heard above my fucking office was kind of like a commotion, and then I heard this like, wait, it's more like, like that, and it was kind of like, and I think what I witnessed is like a squirrel like convulsing and dying. And I was sitting at my fucking desk, right, doing tech support. Yeah, like you need to turn it off and on again. And then what I hear is just a fucking squirrel like fighting for its life unsuccessfully. I can tell you, I did not feel good because he put poison too. So I think that's what was happening is the squirrel ate some poison, then fucking. So woo, I did not feel good. And then I think what I heard because after I hear like, and then it kind of like goes quiet, and then you hear like still footsteps like around. And I think that was like the other squirrels like walking around me like, whoa, like what the fuck happened to Steve? You know what I mean? That was really funny. And all the other squirrels being like, damn, like, I'll have what he's having. You know what I mean? Anyway, so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that was actually what happened, but that's how I fucking imagined it. Okay, cool. How about that fucking Snickers ad back in the day? You guys remember that bullshit? You're not yourself when you're hungry. Fuck you, okay? I'll give you some more context. Snickers, I think in like the early 2000s or like 2000s, ran a series of ads that says you're not yourself when you're hungry. Maybe they still do. I don't watch TV because I'm not fucking over 50. You know what I mean? Who the fuck watches? Who pays for TV? What kind of crazy shit is that? You know what I mean? Dude, anyway. So, I don't know. Maybe the ads are still fucking running. I don't know. Yeah, I have ad block on my browser because I'm not fucking dense and I hate ads. And I don't pay for TV because, again, I'm not fucking dense and I hate ads. So if you do either of those things, you should stop. I don't know why you would pay for TV. Also, you should, if you don't have ad blocker on your browser, do yourself a favor. Google AdBlock Plus for Chrome and download that. They probably have it for Firefox too, whatever. Anyway, it stops ads from being played. It's fucking lit. If you don't know about it, figure your shit out because it's fucking lit. AdBlock Plus. Check it out. Anyway, I have that shit, so maybe these ads are still being run. I don't fucking know, but if they are, it's total bullshit because the whole premise of the ad is you're not yourself when you're hungry. You're hangry. You need to fill up on a Snickers bar, and then you won't be hangry. Bitch, do you know what the fuck would happen if you were starving and then you ate a Snickers bar? You would skyrocket for about 15 minutes, and then you would crash, and you would be the fucking Grinch, bro. You would murder children easy because hang. As much as I fucking hate that stupid term, being hangry, that's a real ass thing. When I'm hungry, bro, and I'm trying to do my support job, oh dog, my patience. When I'm trying to do anything, fucking anything, I'm like, I get fucking miserable, and I get so angry, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, why am I so angry? My day's not even going that badly. But then it's like, oh, it's because I haven't eaten in 3 hours. I have some food. I feel instantly way better. I warm up. My body gets warm. When I don't eat for a while, I can feel my extremities get colder because like my body's like running low on energy. Anyway, so I instantly I get warm again. I feel nice. It's great. So being hangry is a fucking real thing. But if you ate a fucking bar of Snickers when you were starving, because like you have to be pretty hungry in order to become angry, in order for it to affect your mood. So if you did that, like if you ate a bar when you were hungry, you would be a fucking cunt. You'd be the fucking worst. You'd be a crazy, like psycho obnoxious person for like, again, 15 minutes. You'd have a crazy sugar spike. And then you'd just be like an even bigger piece of shit than you were like, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. So fuck you, Snickers. You know that there's no nutritional value in your fucking bar. And yet you put this out. It's such fucking bullshit. They got away with false advertising. Because it's like, you shouldn't be saying that eating this will cure your hunger. And that's essentially what you're saying. It will cure your hangriness. Therefore, it will cure your hunger. Excuse me. Oh. Sorry. So I was pissed about that. It's such fucking bullshit. And in the ad, they show these people being like angry and they eat a Snickers bar and they're like, no, I feel great. Fuck you. Stupid fucking bitches. Okay. Oh my God. Look, I'm about to talk about something. I know it's been talked about ad nauseum, right? To no end. I know everyone makes a joke about this, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because it still fucking exists. And I don't get why the fuck these people haven't taken a fucking hint. What the fuck is wrong with you, you stupid fucking idiot? Stupid shithead motherfuckers. And what it is those stupid fucking recipe websites that have the fucking entire blog, the entire essay, shit life story before you get to even a discussion about the fucking ingredients, okay? You stupid fucking idiots. I don't give a fuck what color your dog is. I don't care what season it was when you found this fucking recipe. I don't care about any of that. I just want to fucking know the ingredients and know how to do it. Why do you think fucking Tasty, Binging with Babish, all these cooking shows where the only shot is the fucking pot and then what goes in it, and they jump right into it? Why do you think Binging with Babish has like 10 billion subscribers or whatever it is? Because he doesn't fuck around with the bullshit that you put on there. Get it through your fucking head. Nobody cares about your seasonal bullshit decorations that you fucking do. Holy fuck. I don't get how there's so many of these. Oh my God. You know what? And look, I this is hypocritical because I'm doing this fucking bullshit podcast and I'm like, oh, my podcast is different from everybody else's. No, it's the fucking same. But I just feel like these, it's just like, fuck you. Why would you put all this shit? You fuck up my fucking life. I just want to cook my shit, bro. Fucking bullshit. I can't believe these stupid fucks still do this. God damn it. Don't put your life story in front of a recipe. Put your just recipe online. If you need to add text to the recipe, put put it after. Okay, so we get the recipe first. If you need to add text, put it after, and then put, then sure, spill your fucking guts. Talk about whatever you want, but don't advertise a recipe and then put your fucking bullshit story before the recipe. That is also false advertising, you fucking cunt. Piece of shit, motherfucker. Okay, make some... Oh, on a similar cooking note, make some fucking vegetable broth, okay? Your body will thank me, and it will thank you. First of all, you should make broth or stock. Call it stock or broth, roughly the same thing, I think. You should learn how to make that because it's used in a ton of recipes, soups, stews, like a ton of shit. Stock is used everywhere. You might know it as bouillon as well. So it's so easy to make too. Essentially, like what you do to make different types of stock is you just throw a bunch of garbage in a pot, cover it in water, and then boil it for like 4 hours. That's fucking it. And it's some next level, like, homesteading, DIY shit. And it tastes really good and it makes you feel good, bro. Trust me. So look, I'm going to drop knowledge right now. So in order to make stock in general, if you're making meat, any kind of meat-based stock, you throw the discarded meat parts in a pot and cover it with water. You throw some spices into kind of whatever you're fucking feeling. Not too many spices. The point of a stock is to be not too flavorful. But like beef, for example, you'd throw like, a beef rib, any kind of bones in there, any kind of like gristle that you didn't eat, or that you don't want to eat, any kind of just discarded meat parts, anything of that, you throw it in, you cover it with water, you cook, you boil. Chicken, maybe you get a whole chicken, you roasted chicken, you just throw the whole carcass in there after, just anything that, and then you put some celery in, some bay leaves, Cover it with water, boil for 4 hours. That's all you do. It's really easy. And then you're left with this delicious liquid that you use in cooking, or that you can just eat if you're maybe feeling a bit nauseous, which I feel nauseous a lot. It's part of my delicate constitution. Anyway, veggie broth in particular is fantastic because there's no meat. It's nice to get a break from meat every once in a while, because it's like, I was thinking about this morning. It's like, dog, you know, like I don't need to kill something every time I eat. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot. That's a little gratuitous. Just every time you eat, this chicken's gonna get it. You fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? And it's just like, meat has so much like oil and fat in it. It can be heavy to eat it so much as a meal. Because I was eating kind of like, I would cook a chicken. Well, I still cook a chicken every week, but I would cook a chicken, then just eat it, you know, for lunch and dinner, and then for breakfast I would have like eggs. So it's just like, Jesus, it's just a lot. So the veggie broth gives you a nice break from all that shit. And again, if you're feeling queasy, and the best part is like you essentially, not quite, but roughly like what you would compost, you just throw that in a bag in the freezer, and then you put it in a pot, cover it with water, and boil it, and that's your fucking veggie stock. So you can't do it with everything, but like the big ones for stock is like any kind of like it's kind of hard to describe, but like oily or like stocky vegetable. And you can kind of know it. You kind of know it when you see it after a while. For example, like onion and celery, fennel, garlic, like it's all kind of like, you know, it has kind of that like papery texture to it. You know what I mean? Carrots too. The skins of carrots you can put in your stock. Just make sure you wash them so that they get all the dirt off. But it's just like you kind of just look at the vegetables. It's any kind of like veggie that has like, you know, like what would you not put in? Like you wouldn't put in like orange peels, for example. You wouldn't put in, you can put in asparagus, but you can't, you have to make sure that it's not too much, because if you put too much asparagus in it, it like makes it bitter. So anyway, you can check it out online, but it's just like, it's really sick because anytime, oh fuck. Fuck that. We're going to keep going. Is that really an hour though? Maybe I should stop and do a double header. Where am I at? Jesus, I'm not even halfway through. I'm going to keep going. I'll do, I think I'll do, anyway. Yeah, so just fucking, you know, check out broth. Oh, because, yeah, what you do is, like, anytime you peel an onion, you know, usually you have to take off the gross part of the onion. You just put that in a fucking Ziploc bag in your freezer. You just chuck it in there, leave it, and when that Ziploc bag fills up with discarded crap, dump that in a fucking pot, and you cook it. And then it makes this delicious liquid that, again, you can just drink, you know, as kind of like a light meal if you're not feeling great, or you put it in whatever else you're cooking. So, pro tip, make some veggie broth. So we'll do one more, and then I'll split this up, and I'll do a double header episode. Oh, shit. Okay, okay, yeah, I can end this on rap lyrics review. Rap lyrics review. Rap lyrics review. I'm gonna make a fucking sick intro for that. It's gonna have like explosions in it and shit. I don't fucking know, but I just like I keep listening to rap and just hearing the most goofy shit. It's like goofy, but it's sick. Like I also kind of I might start recommending music on here. But anyway, there's a rapper that I feel like has really flown under the radar. His name is Murs. And again, I can't even flex with my music knowledge because Spotify algorithm just, you know. Anyway, his name is Murs, M-U-R-S. He's fucking dope. And especially, y'all got to check out this song called Unicorn Glitter. 2 words spelled normally. And it's about, it's really cool. It's kind of about like the pressures that society puts on women to withhold sex from men, essentially. And I know it sounds kind of like, oh, that sounds like really in your favor, Tom. And it's like, yeah, but just check it out. That summary didn't do it justice. It's a really cool song, so check that out. Unicorn Glitter by Murs, M-U-R-S. And he has this one line, and it's like, oh fuck, what is it? It's like, he's something like, I think all pussies are like diamonds. He's like 100 carat diamond that's protected by a hymen. Well, I'm really not doing this justice. Okay, I gotta come back to that. Do I remember the other one? Okay, you know what? I should probably look at the lyrics better before I do this shit. You know what? We'll just end it on that busted ass note. I'll end it on that busted ass note, and I'm gonna finish off. I'm gonna do a doubleheader episode. RN. Oh shit. Okay, love you guys. That was a fun one. I hope you guys liked it. Love you guys so much. I'll see you in like 10 minutes when I record the next episode. Okay, bye.